Is Bitcoin as a currency dead? By this I mean, has the whole notion of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as an alternative to paper money been destroyed by that Sam Bankman-Fried dude with the FTX crash? It seems that confidence in the notion has been all but eliminated, and all that is left are the holdouts that own some when they bought in early. The huge exchanges such as Coinbase and Binance are still a thing. But what is the point of them? I get that the blockchain does have some potential uses. But is crypto still a money alternative? As long as people continue to see crypto, and by extension Bitcoin, as an investment, it will fail as a currency. I'd argue it was always dead as a currency. People who obtain it rarely do so for the purpose of purchasing goods or services with it. They do so for the purpose of holding for a time, then exchanging it for a different currency. They'd then use that currency to purchase goods and services. All Bitcoin has ever been is take USD, buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin for USD. I literally use it every single day, both as a business and as an individual. In store it represents about 10 of sales. Online for us it's about 90 of sales. We're a roaster and coffee shop in El Salvador. You know how you can tell crypto isn't money? You don't advertise money. Some comedian. Crypto doesn't work as currency. It's only a speculative asset. Please don't call it an investment. As currency doesn't grow, only goes up and down versus other currencies. Let's face it. Crypto was never an actual money alternative. It was always just a get-rich-quick scheme that people gambled stupid amounts of money on, thinking they could win big. I still see we buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin signs around. Bitcoin as a currency was never alive to begin with. Turns out most people don't really actually have a need to so desperately hide their purchases then. Not even their bank account can see it. It's a solution fixing a problem that most people never had to begin with and was basically doomed to fail from the start. For most people, Bitcoin is basically just a debit card but with an ever-shifting value, and obviously this turns a lot of people away from the technology. It was never a currency and it never will be. Wait until you get to live in a country unable to get a stable currency or economy, or with restrictions to move your own money around. I use crypto as a currency to bill my work because otherwise it would get stolen by the government. At this moment I would get only 29 before paying taxes. And it gets lower over time. WTF? This question is related to SBF? EHH. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole never really worked as a currency in the first place. Even back in the early 10s, when some big enough retailers took it as a payment option, there were so many issues that it was dropped fairly soon after. Modern attempts to use cryptocurrency as an actual currency haven't been any better. Look at El Salvador. It never was a currency, just an investment to quick cash outs. Dead until Elon makes a scheme how to add another 100 billion to his pocket from gullible crypto simps. Given its current price, it's clear that at least some still see it as an investment. Lot of false notions in the comments. Just Google Bitcoin India or Bitcoin El Salvador. Americans have dollars and take it for granted. The Lakers hope not. It was never a realistic alternative to money. And I personally used it as an alternative to money before it got popular. I always had to change more money to Bitcoin than I needed to cover potential changes in the dollar to Bitcoin exchange rate in the 3-day period between when I changed my money and when I could order stuff. It was a brilliant idea in theory, but the execution was terrible. It's a Ponzi scheme. Depends what you mean by currency. It was never especially alive in the sense that something costs 9 bitcoins. And that's the price. It was also never really alive as a way of paying $9 in Bitcoin equivalent to buy something. Money currency is hard to define. But to me, the definition hinges on being used to buy-sell things. It is used by hostage takers, online extortionists and similar. But they also use Apple gift cards and such. By design it doesn't work as currency. Even if you remove the volatility, the fact that it is designed to increase in value means people won't spend it. There's a reason why monetary and fiscal policy aims to keep inflation controlled. If the thing I want to buy will cost less next year, why would I buy it now? The only people I've heard of even wanting using Bitcoin are these catfishers from Nigeria I see on Scamfish. To me, it's scam paradise. So I'm not touching it. Bitcoin is not a currency and never will be. Everyone is in it just to flip it. You can use it as such, but no one actually uses it for that. How can you buy something with lol? One day it's worth 20k and the next day it's 30k. You want to buy something that's worth like 80k. So you pay 4 Bitcoin for it. But the next day that would be worth 120k. So you basically paid 40k extra lol. Nope, I use it weekly. After reading the comments, Bitcoin or rather part coins are used to pay for transactions over the internet that you don't want traced to your bank account. The Bitcoin blockchain can handle 7 transactions per second by design. No way to scale up. It never had a chance. It's always been one law or regulation from being dead. People are either incredibly naive or ignorant of the nature of power if the U.S. Treasury or the Federal Reserve would allow it to become an unregulated form of exchange. It would immediately become illegal simply for law enforcement reasons. It's used as the currency of scammers and extortionists. It still goes for $35,000 per coin. That doesn't seem dead to me. Some clearly value it. Otherwise it wouldn't be a thing for scammers and others to accept ransoms, donations, etc. Don't ask Twitter bros. No? Can someone check in on El Salvador? Bitcoin was always a scam in my eyes. The concept is fascinating, but unfortunately it has too many shortcomings. Crypto has never been a good currency. It's too volatile. People point out inflation with fiat currency, but at least USD doesn't fluctuate as much as crypto. It can be used as a currency, but it's not really useful for that. That being said, it's not dead, and its market price isn't solely based on how much it is used as a currency. Now knowing that exchanges can suffocate the price by selling their customers' holdings without their knowledge, SBFFTX we're a long ways away from price stability. I don't see how it gets adopted in the next few years. But we'll see. USDT is a stablecoin tied to the dollar. So crypto isn't necessarily dead. What's likely an issue is the idea of a highly speculative investment vehicle like BTC being a widely accepted cryptocurrency. So in that sense, yes, BTC itself is not a viable option for people who don't want to risk wild fluctuations. Bitcoin is pure speculation. It was never alive in the first place. Aside from niche use in largely criminal enterprises as a way to actually move real currency in an undetected manner, it never really functioned as a currency at all. Like all crypto, it's just an arbitrary speculative store of value that is traded for real, actual currency. I think you're missing the distinction between Bitcoin as a money and the operation of a coin exchange company. Just like a bad bank doesn't mean the dollar is worthless. A currency has to be tied to something else to show it actually has value. Crypto is just the modern equivalent to tulip mania, dead as soon as people stop believing